to their feet in stadiums around the country, new heroes would emerge. At first, these pioneer warriors were tough and strong, outlasting technology. Cars makers DeCoster, Tripes, DeStefano, Jam and Jimmy Weinert, all taking their machines beyond their capabilities. It wasn't who would break as much as what would break. Then out of Idaho came a brash, talented, foot-off-the-pegs barracuda named Bob Hurricane Hanna. Hanna put together 3 straight championships with 27 Supercross wins. His superstar status inspired a wave of young riders in the 80s. For this decade, proved to be the most competitive in the sport's history. David Bailey, 9th on the all-time win list. Jeff Ward, a 3-time champion who posted 20 Supercross victories. The Osho Johnny O'Mara helped the U.S. team to 10 International Motocross to Nation wins in 10 years. But the rider who set the new standard with the record 28 Supercross victories, Rick Johnson. Accentuating the 80s was one of the greatest races ever recorded, Anaheim, 1986. It was an incredible back-and-forth battle of mind and body. Power style versus smooth technique. Rick Johnson versus David Bailey. RJ would win 6 Supercrosses that year and the championship. But on this day, Bailey would electrify the crowd, winning this, the season's opener. Bike technology advanced to the point where Supercross became a science of timing and technique by the 90s. Riders were jumping further and obstacles were more intricate. It was just the stage for young Jeremy McGrath. McGrath had taken Supercross to the pinnacle of popularity with 52 victories, winning 5 titles in 6 years. Tonight, Jeremy opens his 7th season in Anaheim. It's his house, winning his last 6 races here. Can he do it again? Or will the best lineup of talent since the 80s steal away his glory? It is a sellout in Anaheim, California for round number 1 of Pace Supercross. Hello, everyone. I'm Art Ekman along with David Bailey, and this is one of the hotly anticipated Supercross seasons of all time. It's not only our 25th anniversary year, but also, David Bailey, the depth of field could be the best of all time.
It's the best I've ever seen. I'd have to go all the way back to 1982 to find this much talent out there. After roaming the pits following the practice sessions, I thought that would make it easier. It made it worse. There's more guys that figured in, and everyone's just shrugging their shoulders. No one can pick a winner. It's impossible.
Jimmy Button picked up the 4-stroke, and Honda has beefed up their act.
Well, Honda's got a really strong team. The weak link on that team is Sebastian Tortelli, who won the opener last year and then went on and won a world championship. That's a pretty good team.
Then you got the young Lions moving into the 250 ranks. The much-anticipated appearance of Ricky Carmichael, and also Robbie Raynard won a title in the offseason.
Right, and we've seen Larry Ward have a lot of success overseas, and Raynard rather went over there and won the World Supercross Championship. See if he can bring it over here to the U.S. I know he's excited to be on a factory team, and Carmichael, well, you can just expect fireworks whenever you set your eyes on that kid.
Before we get to the action, our qualifying process remains the same this year. The top 4 from 2 qualifying heats advance to tonight's main event. The rest move on to the semifinals, where the top 5 advance from the transfer. And then the final 2 spots of the 20 rider gate will be determined by the last chance qualifier, where the top 2 riders getting the final 2 transfer spots. And you know, with the depth of field we've got this year, David Bailey, there might be some top riders going to that LCQ.
There's no might about it. I'm looking at this heat race, and there's 7 guys that are all capable of winning it. So there's going to be some action in the semis tonight, all year.
32nd board is up as we see Mikel Pichon with his new number 5, and his new team, Team Honda. Ezra Lusk, Larry Ward, Damon Huffman, Steve Lamson, Greg Albertine, Sebastian Tortelli, Bill Lawrence, Jason McCormick out of the 125 East, able to run in the 250s, along with Stefan Roncada under the same situation. But David Villeman this year, he's in the 250s. He'll run 5 races in America before going over to Europe for the GP Series, where he competes for Yamaha of France. We're off, and our first qualifying heat of the year is underway. Number 4 to the inside, but cutting across that line first. We're going to give it to Ezra Lusk right now.
Goodman just getting started from that first corner crash. He's going to have to come from behind. Look at how tight it is coming out of the corner after the whoops.
Larry Ward making a play for second place. He moves into second place in the corner now and will take on Team Honda's Ezra Lusk. Lusk, the veteran. For that Team Honda this year, it's Larry Ward in second place, followed by Stefan Roncada, number 22. Roncada on the Yamaha of Troy.
Excellent piece of riding by number 5, Pichon, you see right there. He started right next to his teammate Lusk.
And the two Frenchmen battling it out for third.
He got sideways right out over the gate, had a terrible jump, and somehow weaseled his way through that first corner and into a good position.
That is a good battle now for third place. Roncada and Pichon, number 5, behind him, with another Frenchman, Sebastian Tortelli, in sixth place. Back to our leader, Ezra Lusk.
Larry
Yogi's
Ward
looking for a more consistent year, and Larry Ward is putting some pressure on him, David Bailey.
Yeah, the one thing that always bothered me is when I got the whole shot and thought, okay, I'm in control of things, and all of a sudden you start getting a lot of pressure. Right now, Ward is keeping the pressure on. That's how you can force a mistake. Look at that. Lusk going for the quadruple, jumps all 4 of those. It's going to be a big time saver tonight, but it's pretty risky. McGrath said it takes a lot of nerve to go for all 4 and still make the corner.
Pichon makes the jump pass, and Roncada gets right back at him as we watch Ezra Lusk go over the finish line with 6 laps to go. Last year, Lusk fueled a rivalry with Jeremy McGrath, and David, it's going to be interesting when those two finally meet on the track to see if all was forgotten, because Ezra had these words earlier for us about that combative situation.
I mean, I think that's what some of the fans want to see, you know. It kind of lightened everything up last year. You know, it was going through over halfway of the season, and it was like Jeremy's winning races, Jeremy's pulling a points lead, and you know, so. And then when that happened, it seemed like everything just fell apart, at least for him. You know, me and Kevin started catching up to him in points. He had some DNFs, and whether that is what did it or not, you know, you don't know, but it kind of changed things around. And if me and Kevin would have had one better race last year, then it would have been a 3-rider duel to the end.
Ezra Lusk is still our leader in our opening qualifying heat. Larry Ward only a second behind him, and the battle for third is on. Stefan Roncada and Mikel Pichon, number 5, on the Team Honda bike. We'll be back with the conclusion of our first qualifying heat. Pace Supercross in its 25th year returns to Anaheim shortly.
Suzuki has completely restyled the Katana 600 and 750, from their dual halogen headlights to their 4-in-1 stainless steel exhausts.
Same time tomorrow? Yeah.
So now they're just as impressive on the outside as they've always been on the inside.
Sprint is creating a world of unlimited possibilities. A world where time and distance don't matter anymore. Call 1-800-PIN-DROP now and switch to Sprint Unlimited. You get unlimited calls every Saturday and every Sunday for 1 monthly fee. And your weekday calls are just $0.10 a minute. Anytime, anywhere. Forget about rules, limits, and borders. Because only Sprint Unlimited gives you unlimited calling every weekend, even to Canada. Join a world where weekends never end. And every weekday call is just $0.10 a minute. If you make over an hour of calls each weekend, you could save by switching to Sprint Unlimited. Call 1-800-PIN-DROP now for unlimited ways to save on long distance, including calls to Canada. And leave the past behind. Sprint ahead.
Everybody, get ready. Okay. There's me, and there's my 4x4. I'm picking up some speed. Here I go, up. Woo! Look at me move, and I look great doing it. Woo! Yeah! Look out, everybody. Here comes Tacoma Man. You're the bomb, baby, the bomb. The man.
So, what do you think?
I am everyday people.
Pace Supercross is brought to you by Suzuki. Right now, your Suzuki dealer has a wide selection of fine motorcycles and ATVs and the financing to get them. And by Honda, maker of the world's most powerful custom motorcycle, the Valkyrie. Welcome back to Supercross, our first qualifying heat of the year from the opening round of Pace Supercross. Moving into third, number 5, Mikel Pichon, while we were away for the commercial break. Number 22, though, Stefan Roncada, who's really anxious to get on that 250 machine. He'll be competing in the 125 Eastern Division when we move to the East.
Boy, he's going to get a lot of confidence riding the way he's riding so far in the 250. Really impressed, though, with the way Pichon looked in practice. Really calm, relaxed, able to choose different lines. That's what helped him make this pass here. And he's staying close to the leaders. You can see Larry Ward right there in front of him.
Pichon has always wanted to ride a Honda. He finally got his chance, but maybe a final factory ride if he doesn't perform well this year.
Well, he's still pretty young, so that's a plus for him, but it's already starting off pretty good. I thought it was a disaster as soon as he got a terrible jump over the gate. He made up for that. He's moving up. His lap times are right there with the leaders.
Here's Roncada, number 22. And Stefan, of course, making his mark with Honda of Troy, and they changed, becoming the lead support team for 125 action for Yamaha after last season. Ezra our leader. Ward looks like he's content in second place.
It looks that way, but I don't know if that's what's going on inside his helmet. I think he really wants to keep the pressure on Lusk. Maybe force him into a mistake. There's a problem for Pichon.
Pichon went down in the corner as he slipped out.
This track is getting so slippery. Just beneath that surface, you see all those shiny spots there as they get into that corner. They're trying to steer just out of it. All those shiny light-colored dirt sections is like riding on ice right now. So they're going to probably have to adjust their tires as the night goes on. That moisture makes it even slicker.
3 laps to go in our opening qualifying heat. And our leader, Ezra Lusk, is about ready to lap number 53, Pedro Gonzalez, on the Kawasaki Mexico entry. Roncada in third, Pichon in fourth, as we look at Ezra Lusk, number 4, going through the whoops.
Now Larry Ward, the last time through, chose the middle of the whoops, actually got a good run. I think we're going to see a lot of block passing right after the whoops and into that right-hander. If you can get through there on the inside, get a good drive, definitely can make a pass stick.
Lusk, last year, David Bailey, the standard bearer for Team Honda, coming back with their first win, winless the year before, and Ezra gave him 4 victories.
Just too bad he couldn't stay healthy. Otherwise, I think it'd been a lot more.
Ezra Lusk, Ward, Roncada, Pichon, and Tortelli are top 5. Remember, only the top 4 will get the transfer into the main event.
Up over the finish line jump. Pulled a little bit of room on Larry Ward that time. See if Ward can close that gap again.
There's our leader, number 4, Ezra Lusk, but the real battle is for third. And here's Roncada, number 22, and Pichon has picked up a lot of time after slipping out.
If Roncada's smart, he won't let Pichon get around him in the same place again. There you can see what I was talking about. Pichon getting a really good drive into the corner out of the whoops. Would have been a little bit closer entering that. He's got the line going into the corner to make a pass.
Ezra Lusk, our winner, our leader, I should say, was a former 125 East champion, and not since Bradshaw in 1990 as a former 125 East champ won here. We're on the white flag lap. The final lap coming for Ezra Lusk right now.
Oh, both riders make a mistake just before the finish line.
Roncada and Pichon. Pichon having trouble starting back up, and that'll change our order once again.
That's probably going to send him into the semi. That's going to move Team Honda's Tortelli up a spot. So he was sitting in 5th a moment ago. 1 lap changes everything. He's in the main if he stays on 2 wheels.
Tortelli with an outstanding championship charge on Stefan Everts over in Europe last year to win the 250 title in the FIM Grand Prix Motocross Series. Came down to the very last event of the year, and Tortelli was able to take that title to go along with his 125 title, but this year he's full-time Pace Supercross. Here's the checkers out, and waving for Ezra Lusk, Larry Ward making it to the main event in 2nd place. Lamson, Albertine, Pichon, Villeman, Huffman. Oh, we got some mighty good riders going to the semifinals who didn't make it. Didn't get their transfer. We'll be right back. Davey Coombs will be speaking with our winner, Ezra Lusk, right after these words.
Line up every ATV Honda has ever built, and they would stretch from our factory in Ohio to the deserts of California. But in 28 years, we've never built one like this. The first ATV with ESP, push-button electric shift program, full digital display, and our most powerful engine ever, the Honda Foreman ES. We've just added something new to a very long line.
Available at Loudon Motorsports in Leesburg, Loudon's only motorcycle dealership.
Mike Tyson is back. Tyson versus Botha, Saturday, January 16th, live on pay-per-view.
At 8, the Winter X Games. Women's Quarter X, Women's Biker X, and Skiboarding Triple Air. The Winter X Games, tonight at 8 on ESPN2.
A great tradition reborn on ESPN2, Friday Night Fights. This week, the war in the Middle East. Sheikah takes on Ojada, plus part 3 of the Mike Tyson retrospective. Friday Night Fights, Friday at 9 on ESPN2.
The year was 1987. Jeff Ward was coming off a strong 86 campaign. The always flamboyant Rick Johnson was the defending 250 Supercross champion and looking for a victory to start off the season. Johnson had a new Honda teammate, Mickey Diamond, who was ready to show the world his worth. The anticipation of a new beginning had nerves on edge. 1986 had seen David Bailey's great career end prematurely due to a practice crash, leaving the 1983 250 Supercross champion's lower body paralyzed. So when Bailey's friend Rick Johnson took this spill in the first heat, everyone's heart skipped a beat. Johnson, unconscious on the dirt. The knocked-out champ would be taken to a hospital where he was fortunately declared okay. As for the Anaheim opener, Jeff Ward, Jeff Stanton, Guy Cooper, and Ron Lachine jockeyed for the first turn position. Ward grabbed the whole shot. Stanton, searching for his first ever 250 Supercross victory, took the inside line away from Ward for the lead. But in the end, Jeff Ward would catch and pass Stanton for win number 1 of his 5 victories in the 1987 championship. We're back at Edison Field in Anaheim, California. Our top 4 out of the first qualifying heat transferring to the main event: Lusk, Ward, Roncada, and Tortelli, which means one heck of a semifinal round coming up with Villeman, Albie, Lamson, Huffman, and Mikel Pichon having to go to the semifinals to try to qualify for the main event. Let's go down to Davey Coombs.
All right, Ezra, that's the way we saw you ride the last Supercross you rode, and that was Dallas last year, starting out on fire with a win in the heat here.
Yeah, Davey, coming in this race, I was like, you know what, the last race I raced, I won. And under whatever circumstances it was, I won the race. I tried to remember that out there, but I really didn't ride like myself. I kind of, once I got into the lead, well, I got the whole shot, but I never really rode that aggressive. And I seen Larry back there, and I just kind of wanted to play it safe and get into the main.
Did the slick track, did that play a factor? It looks awful slick out there.
Yeah, it really does, Davey. It's, you know, me and Honda and Dunlop, we really worked together to get our tires going, and the track has changed so much since practice earlier. It was really dry, but I think we got something for the main event.
All right, good luck, Yogi, and we'll see you there.
Thanks a lot.
So Yogi leaves the podium, and Jeremy McGrath now at the gate here for the qualifying second heat. Kevin Windham, Mike LaRocco, Jimmy Button, Jeff Emig, John Dowd, Ricky Carmichael, Robbie Raynard. There is no room for mistakes here, David Bailey.
This looks like the main event to me, Art. Jeez, it's unbelievable, and it's definitely going to be a good semi.
Edison Field makes a pretty tough, tight track, and as we mentioned, it's slick here this evening, David Bailey. Do you expect some bumping in that tight left off the starting straight?
Absolutely. And what's interesting about the start, this time it's elevated about 4 feet off the floor, so they get a downhill run into 3 jumps in the middle of the start. And it's on to a whoop section there you see to the right of your screen. Then across the bottom there is the first triple, a right-hander, another triple, and right after the triple, another interesting section. 4 jumps into a tight right. not that many guys jumping all 4 of those, and then it's all real tight leading up to the finish line. We already saw what happened between Pichon and Roncada just before the end of the race there, so we'll see a lot more of that tonight.
There's Jeff Emig trying for the rebound. Of course, Ricky Carmichael and McGrath in this qualifying heat. They'll be trying to make a statement.
Oh, I think the rider that's really going to want to try to make the statement the most is this one right here, number 9, right. Carmichael. I've never seen him real calm out there. He may enter the race with the race plan of being calm, but as soon as the gate drops, this kid is like a rocket.
32nd board is up, and the fans, a sellout crowd here at Edison Field in Anaheim, California. Very responsive. They're seeing the best Supercross riders in the world. Ricky Carmichael trying to make his mark in the 250s now. His first qualifying heat in his full-time 250 year. They're off and running to the inside. And let's see who crosses that line the first time. It's Robbie Raynard, number 17.
And Raynard lined up just to the inside of Carmichael and pinched him out. Carmichael blitzes through the roof and works his way into a second. So the 2 125 riders moving up this year lead this race so far.
Emig and Carmichael battling it out for second place behind Robbie Raynard. Raynard tested very fast on the 250s. He had to convince team manager Roger DeCoster to give him the shot on a 250. Roger's smiling about it now.
I guarantee you he is. There you see the difference going over the quad. McGrath
cutting to the inside on Emig, wearing the number 11 plate this year. Emig gets it back again. McGrath in third in front of Ricky Carmichael. Then it's number 14, that's Kevin Windham. What a stacked qualifying heat we have here in Anaheim. Raynard now pulling a little lead on Jeff Emig.
This is how critical it is. Remember, Carmichael was right there, had to hold a second, made one tiny mistake. Look where he sits now. He's not going to make the main unless he moves up.
On the outside, Jeremy McGrath. The crowd's coming alive as Jeremy moves into second place. Emig in third. He'll get a challenge from Kevin Windham, number 14, and Ricky Carmichael, number 9. Then it's number 20, Tim Ferry.
Well, now you're going to see what Robbie Raynard's got under the hood.
That's a fact. Whoa! Emig goes down. Kevin Windham's involved. Oh, what bad luck.
Boy, those guys got tangled bad. It looks
Robbie
like they're
Raynard,
okay.
McGrath, Carmichael is in third now, with Tim Ferry in fourth. Jimmy Button is in sixth. Take another look at it, David Bailey.
Well, it looks like Emig comes up way short right there. Lucky for Carmichael, just skates around the outside of their bikes.
Windham, number 14. And out in front with the Team Suzuki, number 17, Robbie Raynard. Boy, what a good showing for Robbie. Of course, he went over to Europe and had some terrific starts in the Supercross series there during the off-season and won the World Supercross title. We'll be right back to Anaheim Stadium with more Pace Supercross in our 25th anniversary year after these words.
It's the most powerful custom on the planet. 6 cylinders, 6 carbs, 1,520 cc's. Only one motorcycle in the world can cruise like this. The Valkyrie from Honda.
Golf Digest presents 50 ways to lower your score.
To get greater distance, turn your right foot out. For a better backswing, don't slide. Turn your hips instead.
Now, lower your score, drive longer, hit straighter, and play your best golf ever with the 50 new stroke-saving tips in every Golf Digest. Call now for your risk-free trial issue. If you like it, get 11 more issues, 12 in all, for just $19.97. Plus, get this stroke-saving video free.
Call 800-417-1200.
Hey, my name is Rick, but everyone calls me The Rick. Yeah, so I'm on ESPN.com. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what .com stands for. Well, Dot is short for Dorothy, the Bambino's second daughter. And Com, short for Comiskey Park, where Dorothy sat in seat 7H, and the Bambino hit a 2-run homer in the 3rd inning to win the first All-Star game back in '33. hence.com.
Robbie Rayner's still our leader. Number 17, but he's getting all kinds of pressure now from Jeremy McGrath, the defending champion. Jeremy has never lost a 250 race here in Anaheim.
Rayner was solid. There goes Emick. Boy, lucky he was able to walk away from that. A terrible crash off the triple.
Let's go down to Davey Combs is with Jeff.
Bro, what happened? I came up short on the triple. I was trying to time it a little better than what I did earlier so I could jump the fourth. Jumps into the turn. I came up, I don't know, like right before I took off, it's like I got no traction. You know, I was like totally coming up short on it, so.
The crowd's going crazy. McGrath does the quad. Rayner does not, and he takes the lead.
Just approaching that section all the way down the straightaway where Emick had his problems. McGrath has taken the inside there. He's in that loam. He's not getting any wheel spin. He was able to inch up on Rayner, who made a mistake down the straightaway, couldn't do the triple, and that's what set it all up. McGrath, though, is always there to take advantage. That's why he's wearing that #1 plate.
4 laps to go in our second qualifying round here in Anaheim, California. Ricky Carmichael's in third. It'll be interesting to see if he can gain any ground on number 17 of Team Suzuki, Robbie Rayner.
But between these first 3 riders in this heat race, there's a lot of 125 titles. McGrath winning a couple before he moved up. Carmichael getting his. We'll see if Rayner can stick with McGrath now, learn a little bit for that main event.
We've got McGrath in first, Rayner in second, Carmichael in third, Tim Ferry in fourth, and Jimmy Button on the 4-stroke in fifth. Now with 3 laps to go, it'll be interesting to see if the 4-stroke can catch up and qualify for the transfer to the main. Ricky Carmichael in third.
Working his way through that loop section. It looks like it's so hard to get traction across the tops of those. They just keep getting slicker and slicker as the laps wear on. The tops of those loops right now are just like wet cement.
Here's the battle for the final transfer spot. Jimmy Button on the 4-stroke. He took the ride when Doug Henry decided to semi-retire. Looking back, Tim Ferry on the no-lean Yamaha, I should say. And the team Yamaha 4-stroke of Jimmy Button. Button has adjusted very rapidly to the 4-stroke, David.
He has. I think early on at the Yamaha test track, McGrath was the fastest, then Button came along and up the ante, was going even faster. And the way this track is starting to get slick, I think that 4-stroke's going to get better and better.
Doug Henry told us riding a 4-stroke in racing, you have to change your thinking as well as your style. And we asked Jimmy Button about his adjustments to his new riding.
Yeah, it's quite a bit different. The power delivery is what really changes you around so much. You don't have to use the clutch as much. The traction's very good through corners and on, when it's slippery. I think Doug proved that in Vegas when he won, fairly easily. But it's just a few things you have to get used to. It jumps a little bit different. But I'd say, your cornering techniques and stuff like that are almost the same. You just got to change, just modify it just a little bit.
Tim Ferry, number 20, doing a terrific job, but Jimmy Button cuts to the inside. The 4-stroke moves into the qualifying position.
Through that quadruple section, Button was the first rider in practice on Friday to jump that whole thing. As a matter of fact, he passed McGrath right there. McGrath went around the corner and stopped and just looked back like, what the heck happened there?
The white flag is out, and Ferry still trying to challenge for that final transfer spot.
Using the entire racetrack, gives the mechanics a face full of dirt.
McGrath, Rayner, and Carmichael are top 3 still as we take a look at the battle for 4th. Ferry, foot off the peg. There's number 1, our leader, Jeremy McGrath. Oh, he looks trim. He's got his game face on, but he's relaxed. Very confident of taking maybe a 6th title in 7 years.
You can tell he's been working hard during the offseason. Just his physical presence. He just looks healthy, and he does, Art. He's joking around, very relaxed. He's going to take this heat.
The checkers for Jeremy. So Ezra Lusk and Jeremy McGrath have won our 2 qualifying heats. Those not in the top 4 in those heats go on to the semifinal round. Dowd, Ferry, Wyndham, Koikita, Sellers, Voss, LaRocco. They'll all go to the semifinals. We'll be right back.
Never before has there been a cruiser as comfortable as the Suzuki Intruder 1500 LC. A bike so smooth, so impressive, you'll want the end of the ride to be just the beginning.
Virtually everyone who applies for this Visa credit card will be approved. If you meet these minimum requirements, you will be approved for this unsecured Visa credit card. This means you're not required to pay a security deposit to obtain your Visa credit card, even if you've been turned down before and regardless of your past credit history. Now you can be approved for the credit you need with no security deposit required. This is a limited time offer. Find out if you're among the thousands who will be approved for this no-risk unsecured Visa credit card. Call our toll-free number now.
The art of tennis, as played by the masters. The Australian Open early rounds Tuesday night at 12:30 on ESPN2.
Our top 4 qualifiers out of our second qualifying heat: Jeremy McGrath, Robbie Rayner, Ricky Carmichael, and Jimmy Button advancing to the main event. But some high-powered names like Emig and Dowd will have to go along with Wyndham to the semifinal round. Let's go down to Davey Coombs, who's with the guy who, well, this is his house, Davey.
That's right, Jeremy. Art Ekman just said it. This is the house that you built. Can you be beat here?
Well, you know, that's what everyone said in '96 when I was winning all those races, and could I be beat? Let's just say I feel real comfortable here. I'm really happy with my Mazda 800 Collect Chaparral Yamaha. And I hope I can't be beat, but I guess sometime it's bound to happen. Hopefully not tonight.
Hey, I didn't think it was possible to even say this, but I got to tell you, from the way you rode that heat race, it looks like you got even faster from last year.
Well, I tell you what, we've been really working on that Yamaha. Things working excellent out there. And kind of messed up. I went in a little hot in the first corner and came out a little back in the pack and had to make quick work of those guys. And I had a great start. I just need to get on the brakes a little bit sooner, I think.
Finally, I saw when you came into the pit area, you talked to your mechanic, Randy Lawrence. Looks like you were complaining about a little bit of arm pump. Sneak up on you?
Yeah, you know, it's the first race jitters. Everyone gets a little arm pump, and I've always kind of got it a little bit in my heat races. I think I'll be fine for the main event.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks.
McGrath with arm pump. That's a headline. The 25th year celebration of Supercross continues when we come back.
A crowd of two-wheeled enthusiasts gathers at the Honda factory in Marysville, Ohio.
Today, we are proud to introduce to you the Honda Shadow Aero.
The bike's a real hit with the crowd. The Aero sports the latest in streamlined design with an exhaust pipe right out of the pages of science fiction. Here's Miss Aero showing off the bike's dazzling colors. The Honda Aero is available today, and what's the verdict in Marysville? There you have it, and it's full speed ahead for the bike of tomorrow.
Everybody I know calls her the cow, even people I don't know. I threw a parade for the cow because it definitely needed something to honor this moment. 300,000! It's really saying something to think that we went through 15 New England winters. It's just an amazing vehicle. It's been a really good buddy. It's been a good friend. And heck, we just need another excuse for a party.
Toyota trucks. How many miles can you put on?
What sets some people apart? Gives them the confidence to succeed on their own terms. It's no secret, it's the Wall Street Journal. Now you can have that confidence delivered for 13 weeks at just $36.75, just 57 cents a day. That's a 25% savings off our regular rate, which makes now a great time to try this limited time offer. Call now, 800-248-1300. That's 800-248-1300 for the Wall Street Journal.
Baltimore 2, the quest for victory. The ultimate Supercross home video is yours to own by calling 888-659-GRACE. See all the battles from the 98 Supercross season.
I have a lot less respect for him. People's going to say, oh, well, you deserved it, whatever.
Baltimore!
Watch Supercross stars McGrath, Emmett, and Carmichael go for the #1 plate.
And they both bar to bar by him!
Order your copy of Bar to Bar 2 for only $14.95 plus $4.50 shipping and handling, or call 888-659-RACE. Bar to Bar 2. Get it now.
There was a unique spin to the 1988 Anaheim Supercross. This Mickey Thompson event wasn't sanctioned by the AMA. Nonetheless, all the big names were there. This race belonged to Rick Johnson and Jeff Ward. The two competitors put on a great show for the California faithful. Johnson, who had been knocked unconscious a year earlier, rebounded triumphantly.
Well, we've just seen some great heat action, David Bailey, but the semifinals coming up pretty soon are going to be just the same, I have a feeling. In the first heat, Ezra Lusk getting the whole shot and going all the way to the checkered flag.
He looked super, and he said he rode tight, and I didn't see any sign of that, really. I think Larry Ward was back there just probably riding equally as tight. It's the first race. Everyone's nervous, a little bit arm pump, and those guys had smooth sailing the whole time.
Looked like the French national championships behind him.
It did. It was Ron Cotta and Mikel Pichon. It caught in a great battle, a lot of passing back and forth, and it looked like a downed rider caused Ron Cotta to go down. Pichon got involved in that, and that moved Tortelli up.
Heat number 2, the whole shot, of course, went to Robbie Raynard, who's been working on his starts with Larry Ward in the offseason. But Jeremy McGrath took it over.
McGrath is perfect. I mean, he comes to the first race of the season ready to go, and he didn't get that great of a start. He said he got on the brakes a little bit late, but he carved his way through the traffic. And I was watching that line over the quadruple day all day long. He's been going down the middle so he could make that pass on the inside. That's exactly what he did to Raynard.
Emig missed a triple. Wyndham hit him from behind after making a triple, had nowhere to go. Do you expect more bumping this year with the type of competition we've got?
Absolutely, especially in the first corner. There's so much talent. I think that's too small of a first corner for all of these guys, and it's really unfortunate. Emig just completely mistimed the triple. Wyndham had nowhere to go. It looks like they're both okay physically, so they'll be able to duke it out in the main.
Remember, the top 5 from each semifinal event get the transfer to the main. We might see some top flight riders going to the last chance qualifier tonight to get into the main event. We'll be right back after this.
Come on, get away. It's time for a little Lansdowne. Lansdowne Resort, less than an hour from D.C. Come on, get away. It's time for a little Lansdowne.
It's time for a little Lansdowne. Play golf and tennis, swim, sun, and more. Call for information.
Experience the exquisite taste of Tarara Winery. Tarara offers you a beautiful setting that touches all of your senses. Take in a tour of our 6,000 square foot cave and see how we make our delicious wines. Then try any one you like. Stay and picnic. Walk through the vines. Bring a loved one. Bring the family. It's a wonderful place to get away, and it's wonderfully close by. Plan your corporate and private events with Tarara. They offer a unique setting to celebrate any occasion. Come and experience Tarara Winery.
It's NFL playoff time. For the most complete coverage of all the postseason action, tune into ESPN NFL Countdown with the professors of football, Sharp, Jackson, Mortensen, Kelly, and of course, Dean Berman. This week before the games, there's a special Sunday edition of ESPN NFL Countdown at 11. For the most comprehensive playoff picture and analysis, tune into NFL Countdown on ESPN.
Welcome back to our first semifinal round of qualifying. Mikel Pichon from the very start, and has started to pull away with 3 laps to go in this semifinal qualifying round. The top 5 riders will get the transfer to the main event. Pichon, Lampson, Albertine, Lawrence, and Huffman, the current order.
First Supercross that Pichon won over here in the States was on a Honda. And he's back with that team.
It was on the West Coast, too, if I remember correctly. Yep. Was that Seattle?
Hey, you think he won in Seattle, then he won again in San Diego.
That's right.
Likeable kid.
We asked him about his realistic goals for '99, joining Team Honda. This is what he had to say.
My goal is to get top 3 in Supercross and win the National. Because I had a good year last year in the National, and I think I should be able to do better with the Honda, and our bike are working awesome. I just feel like I win the National. I won one race. I had a lot of podiums, and I got 4th. I should have got 3rd without a big crash. And so I feel like I have the speed and and the technique to win in motocross. But in Supercross, I need just a bit more, get more time and get some more experience still to win a championship. But you never know. I just want to win races and we'll see what happens.
2 laps to go. Mikel Pichon continues to lead.
Back behind Pichon now. Everyone's pretty much just settling to make a spot into the main, but Villemin had come up and passed Damon Huffman. There you see them working their way into the whoop section. Huffman was riding just a little bit too tentative, a little too cautious. I had talked about him riding very smart, not riding over his head, taking chances. And this year, with as much talent as there is out there, he may just have to take a few chances. Villemin moves up the spot.
Huffman still battling with Villemin in that final spot, but Villemin now starting to pull away with that smoothness you mentioned, David Bailey.
There you see Villemin going for the quadruple. Huffman only triple and loses a little bit more time. Villemin looks the same to me on the 250s he did on the 125. Still got that over-anxious style.
Excuse me, David. White flag lap, Villemin and Huffman still with a chance, but he slipped out. So Villemin's next target right there is Phil Lawrence, number 37. Villemin in the 250, despite being eligible for 125s last year, that down-to-the-wire emotional scene with John Dowd. What a great 125 Western race that was.
It sure looked like Villemin was just going to be able to walk away with that, too. The way the season started, the guy was so strong, especially through the whoop section. He just hopped through there like 3 times. Be done with it, and then Dowd just got that mad dog in him or something.
Sure did.
Stepped up the pace.
Dowdy winning the first race with Villemin a cold in Los Angeles with a 6th place finish there. But then Villemin won 3 straight races, and the battle was on. The checkered flag, and Mikel Pichon has taken our first semifinal round. Pichon with Lamson number 24, Albertine, Lawrence, and Villemin. It looks like will be the 5 that transfer to the main event. So we'll hear from our winner as Davey Coombs makes his way over to the podium, and more Pace Supercross action when we return to Edison Field.
At a standstill, it might be compared to other sport bikes. At top end, it might be compared to other sport bikes. But at each and every mile per hour in between, comparisons become insignificant specks in the mirrors. The TL1000R, the only one of its kind on the track, from Suzuki.
If you need a Visa credit card, we have a special offer just for you. We guarantee to give you a credit card with no security deposit required, regardless of your past credit history. Almost everyone will be approved for a Visa card, even if you've been turned down before. If you meet our minimum requirements, your approval is guaranteed. Our offer is for an unsecured credit card. This means that you're not required to send in a security deposit. Don't miss this limited offer to obtain a Visa card with no security deposit. Call our number now. An application will be sent to you immediately.
College gave me the opportunities to do things in life I never ever dreamed about. To this day, I miss the fans, the fun, my teammates. College players today are tougher, quicker, and smarter. My advice to them, stay in school as long as you can. Become a lawyer, a doctor, go to med school, anything.
Dominating center Michelle Van Gorp and Duke take on Michelle Jones and the NC State Wolfpack. Tomorrow at 1 on ESPN2.
Stay out of the pros.
1990 saw the beginning of another decade as the new kids on the block, Damon Bradshaw, Jeff Matasevich, and Jean-Michel Bale, made their rise to the podium. However, after Mike LaRocco and Mike Dabrowski miscued in Anaheim's Turn 1, the start of the real war between 2 fierce competitors began. Bradshaw had an early lead, but then, seizing the opportunity that had been presented to him, Chicken Jeff Matasevich pulled a hit and run on Bradshaw. It was then Damon's turn to go at number 20, Matasevich. But unlike in the heat action where Bradshaw sent his bike flying into Chicken, Bradshaw would just settle for the pass in first place. Matasevich would fall even further when number 22, Jean-Michel Bale, gets by for second place. Bale would go on to win 5 races in '90. However, on this day, it was the man from North Carolina, Damon Bradshaw, with the victory.
Back in Anaheim, Supercross action. These 5 riders advancing to the main. Mikel Pachon, Steve Lamson, Greg Albertine. Phil Lawrence, a surprise, really, with David Villeman. And another surprise, Damon Huffman has to go to the LCQ. Davey Coombs to qualify.
Hey, Mikel, I ran up to the Honda pits after that bad heat race you had. Did you know that they changed your entire motor and almost were going to change your frame, but they ran out of time?
Yeah, I crashed in a heat race, and I jumped on the guy who was on the ground, and I broke the, I don't know what exactly happened. I know I couldn't shift anymore. My shift lever was bent, so I don't know what happened to the engine, but I guess they had to change it.
Well, you seemed to put it behind you real quick, because that was an excellent ride in the semi.
Yeah, I knew I had to get the whole shot, and I had to win that one because you know, it's really important to get a good spot for the main event. So, you know, already I'm going to be a lot on the outside. So I'm not really happy about that, especially the track is hard to pass on. So, but hopefully, even if I'm on the outside, maybe with the power I have on my Honda, I should be able to get the whole shot.
All right, well, we'll watch for that, Mikel.
Yeah, thank you.
Mikel Pachon, you know, he surprised himself, I think, winning the opening of the Nationals at Glen Helen last year, but he doesn't look like he's that surprised that he's doing well right now, David Bailey. As we take a look at Kevin Windham, who's on the gate getting ready for our second semifinal.
Kevin, everyone is anxious to know, what is it like with your new team on a new bike and a new season opening up?
It's been a bit overwhelming for the last couple of months. Been a lot of changes going on, but it's really you know, the guys at Honda have made the switch just so easy for me. You know, the bike has been real easy to adapt to, and you know, Sebastian and Pachon I've gotten along with, you know, very well for the last couple of weeks, and me and Yogi's relationship goes back several years. So you know, and my mechanic's still there with me, and that's the biggest key. And you know, just getting through those months right before I could, you know, really get in the ride and all that, and get into the season. It was a little hectic, but now everything's slowed down, and it's you know, learning the ropes and of a new truck and a new team, and you know, the guys at Honda have made it really easy for me.
Pulling back, Mike LaRocco, you see him there, and LaRocco has a new refreshed attitude. He's got great equipment from Honda, and he's looking to be a contender this year.
Right, he was also out there at the Honda track, and I was kind of watching Lusk and Pachon and Windham the most, and I just realized that LaRocco was going the same lap times. There's Heath Voss getting up to the line.
He's having trouble with his bike, and that's what we're waiting for.
But LaRocco was really impressive. I mean, I wasn't really looking at him that much. I was looking at all the new guys signed to Honda, and then I realized that LaRocco was turning the same lap times. He impressed me out here in practice. Sometimes you get a quadruple jump like we have out here tonight. Last year, he wasn't as enthusiastic about jumping this stuff. There were only 4 or 5 guys were doing it. This year, he's going for all of it. He's got a really great attitude, and he's wearing number 3, and that's experience for you.
Yeah. Toi Kita from Japan. Kyle Lewis, who won the Japanese National Series last year, is also here in the second semifinal round. Kyle, a seasoned veteran here in the United States. Doug Dubach, a former Supercross winner in San Jose quite a while ago, is on a 4-stroke. Ford is sideways now. 5 to 10 seconds. The gate will drop, and let's check out our second semifinal round. 5 will qualify for the main event. John Dowd, a good start, but number 14, Kevin Windham, will get the whole shot here. Whoa, look out. Number 273, breaking through, Kyle Lewis. Lewis with the good spurt of action is in the lead here in our second semifinal. How many more surprises can we stand before we get to the main event?
Just like the first national at Glen Helen last year, everyone's probably looking through their program. Who the heck is this guy out front? Well, Kyle Lewis has led races before. He knows how to handle it.
Great battle for second place. Windham backs off of Dowd. It looked like Ferry coming up in 4th.
LaRocco, we saw in the start, got just pinched off, went into the corner almost last. He's up to 6th now. They take 5, so he's in an okay position right now. It looked pretty disastrous as he started into the corner.
3 bikes honing in now on Kyle Lewis. Lewis goes wide. Dowd quite can't get the angle on him yet. LaRocco's pulling up on number 27, and that is Brock Sellards, a 125 Eastern rider. So the freight train effect, but everybody's close right now. Kyle Lewis, John Dowd, Kevin Windham, Tim Ferry. And still LaRocco trying to fight up into 5th.
John Dowd with an excellent line to the whoop section, moves up.
And here comes Wyndham. Wyndham moving into second place as Kyle Lewis goes back to third. Tim Ferry is in fourth. A good battle with Brock Sellards and Mike LaRocco. And Emig is out of qualifying range. He just might have to go to the LCQ. Can you imagine Damon Huffman and Jeff Emig in the last chance qualifier to make the main event?
Riders that have had so much experience in the 250 class, and in Emig's case, a title. These guys going back and forth here. Lewis, that block pass, able to square him back off, reestablish the position, but Emig and Huffman, this is unbelievable. These guys, all their experience in the 250, having to possibly go to the last chance, and the young kid, 125 rider Carmichael, moves right up, right into the main event.
And as does Robbie Raynard. Emig right now in 7th place. John Dowd, what a story. And of course, his good friend out of the Northeast, Doug Henry, probably will not race until Daytona. He's racing a very limited schedule.
Yeah, this is interesting. Looking at the battle, actually behind the lead now, LaRocco starting to move up. Goes for the inside. I was going to talk about these two.
Battle for first, Wyndham and Dowd.
If you're Wyndham, is one position going to make that much more difference as a pick to the starting gate for the main event? Or do you go for the pass and sort of tip your hand? If he passes him, he reveals something.
From Anaheim, California, Pace Supercross will continue.
Line up every ATV Honda has ever built, and they would stretch from our factory in Ohio to the deserts of California. But in 28 years, we've never built one like this. The first ATV with ESP, push-button electric shift program, full digital display, and the most powerful engine we've ever put in an ATV. The Honda Foreman ES. We've just added something new to a very long line.
Golf Digest presents 50 ways to lower your score.
To get greater distance, turn your right foot out. For a better backswing, don't slide. Turn your hips instead.
Now, lower your score, drive longer, hit straighter, and play your best golf ever with the 50 new stroke-saving tips in every Golf Digest. Call now for your risk-free trial issue. If you like it, get 11 more issues, 12 in all, for just $19.97. Plus, get this stroke-saving video free.
Call 800-417-1200.
It's a Saturday night special when Wildcat Warrior Jason Terry leads Zona into Loboland for a battle with low post powerhouse Kenny Thomas. Arizona, New Mexico, tonight at 10:30 on ESPN2.
In 1992, the Anaheim round of the Supercross was a showcase for one rider from the mountains of North Carolina. The beast from the east, Damon Bradshaw, grabbed the whole shot and destroyed the competition. This was Bradshaw's second win in a string of 5 in a row.
Welcome back to our semifinal qualifying round number 2. Kevin Wyndham trying to put the pressure on John Dowd. We talked with Dowdy about his friend Doug Henry not being with Team Yamaha at every race this year. He's going to miss him.
It's kind of weird. You know, last year, I think we had an excellent team last year. You know, it was the best time I've ever had over there. And, you know, Kevin and Doug and I were all real close. We hung out together a lot. We rode together and trained together and stuff. And so it's a little different this year, you know. But at the same time, you know, Jimmy's a great guy, and I've been friends with him since before also. And, you know, we get along fine also. So it's just one less guy in the truck. And but everything seems to be fine. You know, the feeling around the truck, everyone's pretty psyched and everything. It's a new year and a bunch of new stuff going on, new guys and whatever. So
3 laps to go, David Bailey. Wyndham cuts to the inside on Dowdy. Bar to bar we go with Wyndham and John Dowd. Dowd regains the lead before the finish line. Back and forth. Oh, what a race. 2 laps to go in our qualifying heat.
You can see Wyndham is really wanting to get by, make this pass, but he is also a little bit tentative. I'd be a little bit frightened and taking things a little easier had I been in Wyndham's shoes when Emig went down the triple. It was very scary.
5 more riders trying to qualify for the main event in our opening round of the Supercross Series. John Dowd, number 6 on the Yamaha with number 14, Team Honda. Kevin Wyndham right behind him.
You see Brian Barry. Come on, John, you can do it. Look at Wyndham, though.
Here comes Wyndham. Both did a triple, not the quad. And it's Wyndham with the advantage coming out of the corner.
Well, that was slick. Wyndham went right into that inside berm and just casually worked his way right out to the outside, took the line away from Dowd.
White flag lap. Can Dowdy take it back again? Oh, look at Wyndham take off on that straightaway. LaRocco has moved into third. Tim Ferry in fourth. Lewis has moved back to sixth. And Damon Huffman, or no, excuse me, it is Jeff Emig, number 11, in seventh. Emig has not moved from that seventh position.
Neo clicker from Wyndham. That's the first one on a Honda I've seen. If he can hang on to this, Honda will have everybody in the main event.
Brings the crowd alive with another heel clicker.
Whoa. Went for that quadruple, came up a little bit short. He wasn't able to do it behind Dowd. Decided to go for it that time on the last lap. A little bit risky, came up short. But
testing it out maybe for the main event as the checkers fly for Kevin Wyndham, our winner of the second semifinal round. Dowd in second place as Wyndham looks back to check the other qualifiers. LaRocco ending up in third, I believe. After a crash in the first qualifying heat, Jeff Emig here in the semifinal round, extremely disappointed. A seventh place. He will have to go to the last chance qualifier, as well as his teammate Damon Huffman.
Suzuki has completely restyled the Katana 600 and 750, from their dual halogen headlights to their 4-in-1 stainless steel exhausts.
Same time tomorrow? Yeah.
So now they're just as impressive on the outside as they've always been on the inside.
If you added up all the hours you've spent boring out cylinders, building strokers, and setting up suspension, you'd have graduated from MMI by now, and you'd be getting paid for doing what you love. Call 1-800-994-3664 to find out how you can become one of the best technicians in the world. Motorcycle Mechanics Institute.
Have you outgrown your current position or find yourself unemployed? Then it's time to look in the National Business Employment Weekly. You'll find top jobs with top companies and advice on landing them.
Order 6 issues of the National Business Employment Weekly now for only $19, a special introductory offer. Look in the National Business Employment Weekly. You'll never know what you'll find. To subscribe, call 800-238-3800. That's 800-238-3800.
Bardabar 2, the quest for victory. The ultimate Supercross home video is yours to own by calling 888-659-GRACE. See all the battles from the 98 Supercross season.
I have a lot less respect for him. People's gonna say, oh, well, you deserved it, whatever.
Bardabar! Watch Supercross stars McGrath, Emig, and Carmichael go for the #1 plate.
And they both Bardabar by him!
Order your copy of Bardabar 2 for only $14.95 plus $4.50 shipping and handling, or call 888-659-GRACE. Bardabar 2. Get it now.
For the 6th consecutive year, the Supercross Series made a stop in Anaheim. 1994 saw the dawning of a new era. Out was Matasevich and Bradshaw. In was the kid simply called Showtime, Jeremy McGrath. And it was battles like these with arch-rival Jeff Emig that would set the stage for future memorable moments between the two. The gritty, determined Emig tried everything to get by the defending champ. However, on this night, #6 efforts were in vain as McGrath would give up the lead only momentarily and then reclaim sole possession of first place. Jeff Emig battled hard, but would continue to fall back as Jeff Stenton beat him out for second. Showtime got plenty of time to practice his patented knack-knack as he won 9 of 15 races en route to his second consecutive 250 championship.
We're back with Base Supercross in Anaheim as we check out the last 5 qualifiers making it to the main event as far as semifinal round action is concerned. Kevin Wyndham with an impressive performance. John Dowd Mike LaRocco really moved up through the field to take a third place. Tim Ferry fourth, Brock Sellards fifth. But the big shocker, of course, is that Jeff Emig will have to go to the last chance qualifier. And Davey Coombs, who's down on the podium right now, that means the two Supercross winners, three Supercross winners from the past, have to go to the last chance qualifier. Let's go to Davey.
Thanks, Art. Hey, Kevin, that was a good ride. But first of all, I got to ask you, you almost missed that quadruple jump over there on the last lap. Does that affect you at all?
No, it was the last lap, and that was one of the toughest jumps on the track, and everybody seemed to have done it once. I think Button over jumped it one time, and Lamson under jumped it, and I under jumped it, and if I can get through it just doing it one time a night, I'll be happy. But I just misjudged it a little bit, and that's one of the tricky obstacles on the course, and I guess that's what we love about Supercross.
Hey, two of your new Honda teammates, Ezra Lusk and Mikael Pichon, already won races tonight. You win. Tell me, is it a much more competitive team over there? You got 4 top riders on Hondas.
Yeah, it's definitely competitive, whether we're testing or racing or whatever. And but that's good. That's what we all need. And we all won a race tonight. And unfortunately, it wasn't the one I'd like to win. I'd like to have won the heat, but me and AMA came together over the triple over there, and that's just racing, but I felt really good in the semi, and hopefully I can turn it over into a good performance in the main.
Okay, thanks a lot, Kevin.
Thanks.
As he walks off the podium, Jeff Emig, disgusted. Emig tried to rebound after a troubled 98 season, came back with a new attitude. But things have not panned out well for him at all here in Anaheim in the first round. We'll be back with more Pace Supercross after this.
Mike Tyson is back. Tyson versus Botha, Saturday, January 16th, live on pay-per-view.
Few places on Earth are drier than this desert. One of them, unfortunately, is inside your home. This warm, dry air creates unpleasant results, acting like a giant sponge soaking up moisture from everything it touches. Protect your family and your home from these ravages of dry air with a Honeywell Whole House Humidifier. Honeywell humidifiers replenish the humidity in the air and a safe water vapor form.
Hi, I'm Roger Dobson. Let us help you control your world by having a Honeywell humidifier installed in your home today.
Man, come on, Kenny, get it through. Center it. Pass it, Hog.
Hey, guys. What's the score?
0-0. Go! Woo! Woo! Go! Woo!
Underway, waking to the inside. It is Larry Ward getting the hold.
Over his shoulder on the other side of the track. There's Petrowski.
Larry Ward, and look at the interval now. About a second is all with Jeremy McGrath on the hunt. There he hops the little rut section now, takes the inside, forces Ward out, and then leaps by him. Says hello, goodbye. And his 22nd win of his career.
That's pretty amazing. Only 3 seasons on the 250, starting the 4th season, 22 wins. I only have 12. I rode longer than he did.
The last chance qualifier was Get Nervous time. A former Supercross champion, Jeff Emig, and a Supercross winner, Damon Huffman, had to take the 2 top spots, and they did that while we were away. So they make the main event after capturing the 2 top spots in the last chance qualifier. Let's go down to Davey, who spoke with Jeff Rowe.
Jeff, I know this night is not starting out the way you wanted to, but hey, pressure's off, main event.
Yeah, I mean, I had to get in the main through the last chance. Definitely, when you're preparing for 2.5 months, that's not what you're thinking about the first race, but you gotta, play the cards you're dealt, and I made a real stupid mistake there in that heat race when I went down. In case of triple, I hit a little edge before, the takeoff, and I didn't get any drive off it, and when them running into me, that was just, I think I've already wrapped up the Bonehead of the Year award.
Tough situation to be in, David Bailey, having to go to the LCQ. But right now, the 125s are revving up. Number 16, Casey Johnson. Well, all the 4 factory teams ended up signing support teams to handle their 125 action. Well, they put many riders in great positions to negotiate sizable contracts. CJ was one of them.
Yeah, it was good. I was kind of, negotiating when I was doing really well in the Nationals. And, I just kept good finishes, and I kept going and doing what I had to do. And I had some people going after me, and it worked out really good that I, went with Yamaha. And I'm really happy I went with them guys. But, yeah, it was really good. And we were kind of like, my mom was in there negotiating for me, and she was getting me those some extra dollars here and there, so it was good.
Casey Johnson, number 16, surveying the track here on the parade lap, David Bailey. But, number 85, Greg Schnell, looked impressive in qualifying.
He was solid. Off to a great start. Rode steady the whole time. Johnson had a little bit of problems trying to get through the first corner and worked his way into qualifying position, but his gate pick won't be quite as good. There he is, demonstrating a little bit of that balance. These guys all are so good at just riding that front wheel on the nose down the hills. See if he can go a little bit faster this time in the main event than he did in the heat race.
Our Suzuki starting grid right now with Casey Johnson, Nathan Ramsey. Ramsey very fast, but had some problems in the qualifying round. Casey Lytle is also in there, and Coyote. That might be an interesting story, David Bailey.
I don't think he showed everybody what he's got. I think he can go a little bit faster than he did in the heat race, but he was getting bumped around a little bit and probably decided, you know what, I just want to get in my first main event.
On a Husqvarna.
And then see how things go from there. A lot longer race.
Here's Greg Schnell getting his instructions.
Yep.
Schnell, Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Just do the same thing you did in the heat race. That'll do fine. Get out front, let all those problems be behind you. I would look for some problems in the first corner. It's so slick out there, and these guys are trying to negotiate those rollers or moguls through the starting line. Then if you find yourself at the corner, you can't get stopped.
The hope for Yamaha of Troy, Casey Johnson. Yamaha of Troy's first 125 main event, as they just shift over their allegiance, becoming the Yamaha lead support team.
There's Schnell checking that gas one more time.
45,050 fans, a record for the new Edison Field here tonight to check out the main event for the 125s, the rising superstars. The field is wide open. There's Coyote, number 109.
Unbelievable. A Husqvarna in the main event.
He won it, the 125 title over in Europe with that bike. The cart is sideways, and we're almost underway. The 125 is off and running to the inside. It's number 33, Casey Lytle.
Beautiful job getting down that starting line, keeping the rear wheel on the ground. Big pile up. Ramsey stuck in there.
Nathan Ramsey, number 25.
Preston. Number 43, Preston, just get going.
Preston, very impressive in practice. Will have to come from behind. But out in front, it's number 33, Casey Lytle. He's a California product, Yamaha of Troy.
Schnell right there, though. Ready to take advantage of any mistake. This time a much better start for Casey Johnson.
Billy Payne, the young Billy Payne winner, 195 is in third place. What an impression he made at Loretta Lynn's.
He made an impression on me this morning in practice. He tried to go for that quadruple, just about made it. I haven't seen any other 125s doing it. He's brave. A little bit of Carmichael in this kid.
He won the Horizons Award as the best up-and-coming rider coming out of Loretta Lynn's. Nick Way won it the year before. But our leader right now, number 33, continues to hold on to that advantage, Casey Lytle. Lytle had an up-and-down year last year. He expected a lot more of himself.
He's got a great opportunity right now to show us what he felt like he was capable of last year. I've talked to him a few times. He's a really nice kid, really shy. What a great opportunity to hole shot in front of a sellout in the first race. Look at that, goes for the quadruple. I was just talking about that. No 125's doing it. He did it. Opened up a little gap over Schnell that time. Schnell's probably going, uh-oh, I hope I don't have to start jumping this to keep up.
And he starts to pull away from Schnell a bit as Billy Payne is in third. And in fourth is Charlie Bogart, number 144.
I'll tell you what's tough about doing that quadruple. It's hard to get stopped for the corner because it's so slick.
On On the run is Michael Brandis, number 49, trying to catch up with Bogard. As we take a look at our leader. Boy, look at it, Slick.
Snell not really able to close that gap back up. I can't wait to see if Casey goes for that again.
How do you go into a berm like that when it is so slick?
Well, you try to get in and get a little bit of your pivot made with the brakes. Look for that loam and just get back on the power. Just steer clear of those real shiny spots. Bogard moving back a spot.
Bogard moves back right as Michael Brandis on the Primal Suzuki takes over his spot.
Well, he didn't go for the triple there. I'm not sure if he didn't get lined up right, but that's the difference.
Billy Payne still doing a fine job in third.
Boy, what a boost for Lytle right here. If he can just hold this gap, he's going to build so much confidence. It's a good drive to the whoops. Anytime you see a guy get a little bit of a wheelie all the way through there, he's obviously,
battle for third.
Casey Johnson's off the track.
Casey Johnson, number 16, finally gets back on. He's going to have an inspired performance to get on that podium. Way out in front right now, Casey Lytle. Greg Schnell in second. And the battle with Brandis taking over third, Payne in fourth.
Whoa, Johnson moves up a spot. A couple of riders getting tangled. Rusty Holland going off the track, so that moves Casey up another spot.
I should say he's looking good.
Boy, you like to come around to the signal area and get signals like that. That just helps you relax so much. See if he gets a good drive to the whoop section again.
You know, talking before the race, David Bailey, we were kind of wondering who might take a step forward out of this 125. We don't have a big name like a Robbie Raynard, Ricky Carmichael, who just graduated up into the ranks, or even a veteran like John Dowd, the excitement of David Villeman. We're going to have to see these guys emerge.
Right now, Lytle is really impressing me. I know, I've seen him ride well, but this is the main event. He's still leading it, holding his gap. He just went for the quadruple again out in front. These guys approaching it.
Here's Coyote. Coyote is trying to make a move into fourth place. Lytle, Schnell, Brandis, Payne, and Coyote. An impressive first-time performance for Coyote here in this season opener for the 125 West. More 125 action in our main event from Anaheim, California, as Pace Supercross continues in a moment.
It's the most powerful custom on the planet. 6 cylinders, 6 carbs, 1,520 cc's. Only one motorcycle in the world can cruise like this. The Valkyrie from Honda.
Beauty, adventure, drama. All these and more can be yours in the wonderful world of art. And with this free art test from Art Instruction Schools, you can find out if you have the interest and desire needed to become a serious art student. To get your free art test without cost or obligation, call this toll-free number. Don't delay. Call this toll-free number now. Call 1-800-344-8300.
Welcome back. Pace Supercross, our opening round, 125 main event. The future superstars are battling it out on the track right now. It's Casey Lytle, Greg Schnell, Michael Brandis, our top 3, with Payne and Coyote, the real battle for fourth place. Coyote in the yellow shirt, cutting to the inside. Can Payne hold him off? Bar to bar for the 125 action.
Coyote's got the inside.
And Coyote, but Payne tries to box him out. Coyote slips him.
That was a good move by Payne, you know, really smart there. He did the right thing by trying to cut back underneath, but they could have easily both gone down. As slick as it is, he backed off just a little bit just to test him. Look at this. Casey gets in there and moves up his spot. He caught Payne off guard right there.
Casey Johnson.
I think all the emphasis has been so much on Casey. A lot of pressure. That's hard to carry around on your shoulders, and his teammate kind of slid through sort of unnoticed, and all of a sudden now He's going to get a lot of attention going into round 2 if he can hold it out front.
Davey Combs is down with Casey Lytle's mechanic. Let's get out of Davey.
I'm down here with a very excited Dennis Petrarca. Dennis, you guys got to be stoked. Casey's riding better than I've ever seen him ride.
He didn't really take any time off. In about 3 races left to go in the Nationals. Got a back injury, and he let that heal up. He's been training super hard ever since then.
Are you at all surprised about him leading here tonight in Anaheim?
No. We came in knowing that he had a good shot at winning this.
Wyndham won this race in 1996 for Yamaha, and right now we got a couple Yamahas out in front. Schnell was 6th in points in the West last season. Lytle was 4th in the East last year. As we take a look at the battle for 4th, Coyote holds the position right now, but Casey Johnson cuts in the whoops. Oh, they collide. They rub plastic.
That was just an accident. Casey got all sideways, went over and bumped him. I think Coyote understands that. There won't be any bad blood there, but I was just about to say, Arthur, I was expecting to see real aggressive riding from here on out from Casey, because I know he wants to be out front. Those guys are way... he's probably got 5 seconds to make up to the next rider. That's disappointing.
So Casey Johnson moves into 4th place. Coyote doesn't look like can hang with him. The halfway mark with 7 laps to go now, as our leader Casey Lytle continues a consistent ride. Casey Lytle is doing exactly what he did last year as far as an impressive start on the season. Now he's hoping that he can get this victory and continue on to be in that points battle toward the end of the season. Here's our battle for 3rd now as Brandes feels the heat right behind him of Casey Johnson. Casey Johnson making the move on number 49. Casey's showing his stuff now, David.
Well, if he can get up there, well, he's already podium position right now. That's unbelievable with the ride he's had. He's had problems getting through riders, banging bars, went off the track one time, and he's recovered nicely.
Can we get a Yamaha sweep on the podium here?
It's possible. Now I understand why Casey got that big contract. Yeah, he is showing a lot of resolve right now.
4 laps to go. What's running through his mind right now? The whoops, he's having problems.
I'll tell you what's running through Casey's mind. Get this number 85 guy off my tail.
And get the lappers out of the way, especially in the whoop section. Very short whoop section, as David pointed out earlier on this track.
If it was any longer, these guys would really be having fits.
Here comes Casey Johnson. He wants that 2nd position now. Casey Johnson in 3rd, but he's knocking on the door of Greg Schnell. There's Schnell. There's Johnson. Johnson hippity hops to the inside. The block pass, and Casey's in 2nd. So we've got Yamahas in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and Casey's in 1st and 2nd.
What a ride. This is really amazing. See how fast Casey has gone. He has just carved his way through this field. He's chopping away a 2nd a lap.
Here's the stopwatch.
He'll be a little bit more gentle with his teammate.
Brandes still hanging on there in 4th. Ramsey moving up to 7th after a poor start and a collision there in the 1st turn. Number 33, Casey Lytle, so far has been as smooth as ice, almost as slick as the track is.
I'm wondering if Casey realizes that's his teammate back there. The last time he looked over his shoulder, it was Schnell. I don't know if they could get that on the pit board for him in time.
Schnell is getting a challenge from Brandes back in 3rd as we're checking out the top 2 riders here in our 125 main with 3 laps to go and winding down quickly.
Anytime I had a teammate behind me, it always helped me relax a little bit more. Once Casey realizes that, it can help him relax. And if they can pull away a little bit more, I think he's got 2nd locked up for sure, because they are starting to gap Greg Schnell now.
Johnson went from 17th to 7th in his qualifying heat. Right now, he'd love a victory. A checkered flag to justify the big bonus he got.
I think it was a good thing that he had that, what happened to him in the heat race, because he learned how to pass.
Nathan Ramsey off the track, pounds his fist into the outfield boards as we take a look at 1st and 2nd.
Watch the difference now. Watch Casey, number 33, is going to go for this quadruple right in front of his teammate who triples it. can't quite get enough speed on him to get in and make that block pass.
Next time around, look at there. Lytle having some problems. Casey catching up. The white flag is out. We've got a 1-2 battle on the last lap. Casey Johnson with a little rub on his teammate. What a ride for Casey Johnson.
Well, now if you're Phil Alderton, you're a little nervous about these guys taking each other out.
Yeah.
That was kind of a love tap, I'd call it.
Eric Kehoe and Phil joining forces together, and Eric doing a great job as that team manager.
You know, if it stays the way it is, Casey's got to be, Lytle that is, got to be really happy with the way he rode. And geez, for Casey Johnson, I'm really impressed the way he carved his way through the field.
What a great feeling to be in your first year as an exclusive support team in the 125 action for Yamaha, and to finish a 1-2 quite possibly.
We're almost there. No mistakes.
Those mechanics with smiles on their faces, they put in the hard work. The checkers are out. Casey Johnson, Casey Lytle. Boom, boom, just like that. 1 and 2. Brandis in third, Schnell in fourth, and it looked like Quixote might be in fifth. And the teammates, joyous together. They've tested together, they've worked hard together, and now they certainly raced hard together. Michael Brandis also a good showing. He will be on the podium as well. And so our 125 first round main event has concluded. Davey Coombs moving over toward the podium. I don't know if he can wipe the smiles off their face to get them to talk about the race, but we'll see when we come back here in Anaheim.
Never before has there been a cruiser as comfortable as the Suzuki Intruder 1500 LC. A bike so smooth, so impressive, you'll want the end of the ride to be just the beginning.
Out here, you don't worry about running out of gas. You worry about running out of dirt.
Here's how the official standings were posted in the 125 main event. Casey Johnson coming from 8th or 9th position to take over the lead and take the checkered flag, beating his teammate Casey Lytle. Michael Brandis, a good effort in third. Greg Schnell, who held the lead for some time, in 4th position, and we had Quixote rounding out the top 5. And as we take a look at the top 10, let's go down to Davey Coombs, who's with a very excited first-time Supercross winner.
That's right, Casey Johnson. I got to tell you, new bike, new team, new clothes, new everything, and you rode the best Supercross you ever rode before.
Oh, I know. I mean, God, there's so many people, that helped me get up here, and you can't thank them enough. Team Yamaha, Yamaha Troy, Flipper. Those guys are behind me 100%. We've all been working as a team and working real hard. And something like this just had to pay off for all the hard work, everybody's put in. So, I mean, I felt really good out there. I wasn't making any mistakes. I made a couple in the whoops, but for the most part, I just kept my head, kept cool, kept calm, relaxed, breathe, and just looking at my pit board every single lap, and I knew how many laps were left. And I saw Casey Lytle out front, and I knew that I had to get up there to beat him. So. And I pulled it off.
Well, congratulations. You look so excited out there. But tell me, were you at all nervous about coming up on a teammate at the very end of the race like that? Because that was a contact pass, but it was smooth contact.
Yeah, I mean, something like that. We're both racing for first place, and then it's high dollars. So, I mean, I know he would have probably done the same thing to me. He kind of left the door open a little bit, and I would expect him to do the same thing.
Well, that was a good ride, Casey.
Thanks, Davey.
Casey Johnson winning his first moto and national action last year, wins his first 125 Supercross, justifying that good contract with his new team, taking a 3-point advantage in the point system now before round 2 in San Diego over his teammate Casey Lytle. What a great scene. Casey Johnson and Casey Lytle 1 and 2. The race for the big bucks as the celebration continues for the 125s. We've got the 250s coming up next.
A crowd of two-wheeled enthusiasts gathers at the Honda factory in Marysville, Ohio.
Today, we are proud to introduce to you the Honda Shadow Aero.
The bike's a real hit with the crowd. The Aero sports the latest in streamlined design with an exhaust pipe right out of the pages of science fiction. Here's Miss Aero showing off the bike's dazzling colors. The Honda Aero is available today, and what's the verdict in Marysville? There you have it, and it's full speed ahead for the bike up tomorrow.
What sets some people apart gives them the confidence to succeed on their own terms. It's no secret, it's the Wall Street Journal. Now you can have that confidence delivered for 13 weeks at just $36.75, just 57 cents a day. That's a 25% savings off our regular rate, which makes now a great time to try this limited time offer. Call now, 800-248-1300. That's 800-248-1300 for the Wall Street Journal.
Bardamar 2, the quest for victory. The ultimate Supercross home video is yours to own by calling 888-659-RACE. See all the battles from the 98 Supercross season.
I have a lot less respect for him. People's going to say, oh, well, you deserved it, whatever.
Bardamar! Watch Supercross stars McGrath, Emmett, and Carmichael go for the #1 plate.
And they both Bardamar by him!
Order your copy of Bardamar 2 for only $14.95 plus $4.50 shipping and handling, or call 888-659-RACE. Bardamar 2. Get it now.
It's the most powerful custom on the planet. 6 cylinders, 6 carbs, 1,520 cc's. Only one motorcycle in the world can cruise like this. The Valkyrie from Honda.
Hey Supercross has been brought to you by Suzuki. Right now, your Suzuki dealer has a wide selection of fine motorcycles and ATVs and the financing to get them.
Welcome back to the sellout for Supercross in Anaheim, California, as the 250 riders now are moving toward the gate, checking out the course on the parade lap. Jeremy McGrath, the defending champion. This is his house. He's won the last 4 250 races he's been in here at Anaheim, and 2 of the 125 races before that he is also victored. He is 6 out of 6 in the last 6 races here in his house. He's earned the right to demand a Supercross only contract, but was it more motivation or was it more pressure?
Well, I mean, I have a reputation as a champion, as a winner, regardless if I win or don't win. It'll tear it down a little bit probably if I don't win, but I think it's given me more motivation because, you know, I got to buckle down and be serious for the Supercross season, and then it's time for some relaxation, you know. I figure I've earned the right to race Supercross only and race whatever selected outdoor races I want to race, and I realize some people are upset about that, but I mean, I like Supercross.
Jeremy McGrath getting ready at the gate. David Bailey, what's running through his mind right now? He was darn near perfect in qualifying.
Well, I think he just needs to get out and get a great start, maybe get on those brakes a little bit sooner than he did in the heat race, try to hold that lead through the corner and do the same thing he did. We've already seen him come through the pack. I think if he gets the whole shot, he's just gone.
Johnny O'Mara giving instructions to Ricky Carmichael. Let's go down to Davey Coombs.
Hey, David, remember what we were talking about earlier about Robbie Reynard keeping that power on the ground with the rear wheel? Well, check it out. He's got the far inside spot. That's choice for him, but look who's next to him, Jeremy McGrath.
What a scenario you have there. I'm kind of surprised that McGrath didn't choose that all the way inside gate. I never really liked having guys on both sides of me, especially if I'm all the way on the inside. I don't need another elbow to mess me up on the gate, but he's confident that he can get out over it, close off Reynard.
Some terrific Terrific riders, the best in the world, nervously moving back and forth, visualizing their start. Jeremy McGrath, number 1. Randy Lawrence's mechanic.
And he got Lusk and Larry Ward and Carmichael. I can't believe how much talent is on this starting line. It is unbelievable.
The Yamaha, an entirely new machine. Everything but the clutch plates are new on Jeremy McGrath's machine.
And on the far outside, Team Kawasaki's Jeff Emig and Huffman. It's going to be tough to get a start from out there.
The fans on their feet right now as we look at Ricky Carmichael. Can he win his very first 250 race? The board is sideways. We're set to go. And the round number 1 of the 250 Supercross Series is underway. Number 5, that's Pichon. And number 7, Larry Ward. It's Larry Ward taking the lead out of turn 2. Right there, number 5 is Pichon with number 4 right behind him as Lusk. Jeremy McGrath is in 5th, but cutting him off was John Dowd.
Look at Carmichael just coming into the picture, getting around Dowd, it looks like. Carmichael passed 2 riders, including McGrath, after the whoop section.
And it's surprising they got through turn 1 cleanly. Here comes number 5. Yes, sirree. Mikel Pichon takes the lead. What a surprise to many. Number 7, Larry Ward, trying to get right back into the action. Larry Ward with his 2nd Supercross win of his career last year in Tampa in the mud. He's on the hard pack right now as we go back and forth. Mikel Pichon and Larry Ward.
Ward is a Honda sandwich right now, trying to get himself back out front again.
Larry Ward takes the lead. Mikel Pichon, Ezra Lusk, Jeremy McGrath, Ricky Carmichael, Kevin Windham, John Dowd. That's your order.
McGrath has moved his way back around Carmichael and is right on the back door of half a Team Honda anyway. Boy, what a slick move by Ward. Gets past. I bet you Pichon thought, well, that's the end of that. I thought it was too, as a matter of fact. And Ward sneaks right back in there. And part of that is experience. He did it in the slipperiest part of the racetrack.
Larry Ward in a battle. Finished in the top 10, 8 of the last 9 years. Very consistent. Boy, would it be a feather in his cap to take away with the opener.
Look at McGrath, just delicately is sliding it in on the inside. Carmichael staying glued to McGrath. This is a freight train of some of the best riders I've ever seen in the main event. Look at how close they all are, Art.
Outstanding to watch this action.
Windham switched to the yellow clothing
Here's my
for the main event.
Ricky Carmichael, number 9. He's trying to put the heat on Jeremy McGrath.
And right behind him is Carmichael. Windham, rather.
Pichon to the inside on Ward. Can't quite get the angle. Ward maintains his lead out in front with the 2 Hondas right behind him. Then it's Jeremy McGrath and Ricky Carmichael. There's the battle for 2nd place. Look out. Number 4, Lusk holds on to 3rd. Back and forth we go.
Well, they went back and forth right behind him. Carmichael and McGrath went back and forth. Carmichael got the better edge of that one.
Let's reset the order. It's Ward, Pichon, Lusk, Carmichael, now Windham, and then Jeremy McGrath. Number 3, Mike LaRocco, is behind McGrath now.
This is going to be a fight all year long. If this is any indication, for McGrath to try to win here now, he's got to pass probably more great riders than he's ever had to do in his entire career.
5 riders in front of him. McGrath tries to cut in front of Windham, and we've got a 3-way battle with Jeremy McGrath in the fold.
Carmichael just scared. Look at the stuff that Carmichael's jumping. A completely different timing. That's how it set up the pass for him on McGrath the lap before.
Ward, Pichon, Lusk, Carmichael, Windham, and then McGrath.
Right, one little tiny mistake, and he dropped like 3 positions. So tight.
Very cautious on those slick turns. The experienced riders then turn up the throttle. Ward through the whoops. A little rough from Pichon.
Here comes Lusk.
Lusk number 4 to the inside of Mikel Pichon. The two-team Honda battling it out.
Lusk looking over his shoulder just to make sure, like, okay, I'm clear of you. I'm going to move over to the inside now. This will change the complexion of things now for Larry Ward, because he's going to notice that number 4 back there now, not 5. Lusk's maybe a little bit more aggressive than Pichon.
Larry Ward has placed a 3rd here at Anaheim and a 2nd before. One year he had a broken thumb. He didn't run. But Larry Ward trying to hold on to the lead position over Ezra Lusk.
Well, I'll tell you what, both of Larry Ward's victories in his hometown in Seattle, then in Tampa last year, very emotional. I'll tell you, if he can hold off these guys in this one, this would be the all-time greatest for him.
There's the defending champion, Jeremy McGrath. McGrath has won 3 times the opener and gone on to win the title that year. But, of course, he's won 2 other titles where he didn't capture the opening round.
What a great time for a sellout to see a race this close. Usually by this time of the race, it's been McGrath pulling away or something's happened with some of the top riders getting hung up in the first corner. They're all still right out front.
Here comes Wyndham, number 14, Team Honda, trying to challenge Ricky Carmichael. They tick wheels. Wyndham just searching for a position to get around Ricky Carmichael.
McGrath is so slick. He didn't even double that jump, didn't lose any time. He almost made a pass, as a matter of fact.
What a battle for the lead we've got going now as Larry Ward was side by side with Ezra Lusk. A Suzuki hasn't won here in Anaheim since the early 80s.
Whoa. Lusk squaring that corner, Pichon coming in. They almost get together.
The 4-time winner last year, Ezra Lusk, number 4. Looks like a heat-seeking missile.
How about Larry Ward? This is unbelievable. This guy has been around for so long. Had so much success in overseas.
And in 1995 was the only privateer to get into a 2nd place position in the points to Jeremy McGrath. Ezra Lusk to the inside. Ward looks over to him. Ward retakes the lead on the advantage.
Boy, that was beautiful. And the way he won his first ever Supercross against Jeff Natasevich in Seattle was a lot of that type of block passing.
1990.
Larry Ward
last year for his 2nd win, and there is Ezra Lusk. Larry Ward is being overtaken by Mikel Pichon. So the 2 Team Honda riders, 1 and 2, going down. Jeremy McGrath, Ricky Carmichael, and McGrath touched wheels.
Emmett goes by McGrath. There goes McGrath's teammate, Steve Lamson.
So, Lamson, number 24.
In a heartbeat, things can change in a hurry.
Okay, let's reset the lead then. It's Ezra Lusk, number 4 on the Team Honda, number 5, Mikel Pichon behind him. Larry Ward now in 3rd position with Kevin Wyndham knocking on his door. And right behind him is Mike LaRocco. Check it out again, David.
Watch what happens right here. McGrath gets tangled right there with Ricky Carmichael. Carmichael almost goes down in the process. Just guys coming out of that corner the lap before. Pichon and Lusk got very close. So much good talent out front. There's not enough room for everybody.
Well, after Jeremy McGrath surprisingly left Honda, not one single win for Team Honda in 1997. Ezra Lusk came back with 4 wins for that team. LaRocco cutting inside of Ward. So we've got 3 Hondas now. 1, 2, and 3. And I was just going to say that after Lusk was almost the single standard bearer for Honda last year, Honda went out to beef things up. They didn't want to take any chances. They gave Mike LaRocco brand new equipment.
Now they got the top 4 spots. So it's all paid off.
Pace Supercross in his 25th year will return to Anaheim shortly.
ProFit Ski and Skate. Everything you need to hit the slopes or the pavement. Shooters Cafe and Sports Bar, the area's only sports bar, is under new ownership and becoming the area's choice for socializing and unwinding. Catch the game on our 100-inch TV, the largest in the area. Play around the pool or treat yourself to a premium cigar. Get 4 hours of free pool with any $6 food purchase on Sundays. Don't miss Shooters live music every Friday and Saturday night, or Ladies Night on Wednesday. Enjoy the friendly atmosphere at Shooters Cafe and Sports Bar, the people's choice. Shooters is open 7 days a week and located next to the DMV and Prosperity Shopping Center.
At a standstill, it might be compared to other sport bikes. At top end, it might be compared to other sport bikes. But at each and every mile per hour in between, comparisons become insignificant specks in the mirrors. The TL1000R, the only one of its kind on the track, from Suzuki.
This simple-looking device is the key to discovering your hidden potential. Introducing the Bowflex Power Pro. Bowflex uses patented power rod resistance to give you an incredibly smooth, natural feel for over 60 different health club quality exercises. It's time to get the results you want with no money down and payments as low as $33 a month. Call right now for your free video and brochure and discover the look you've always wanted with the Bowflex Power Pro.
Mike LaRocco, halfway mark. Coming up, 10 laps to go.
That is still a long ways to go. Larry Ward, where the bottom just fell out. I don't know if he got tired or his arms pumped up. I would have to think that he got a little nervous. Maybe he got some arm pump because he went from riding super to just off the pace.
LaRocco in the Honda stopwatch has 5.2 seconds to catch up to the leader in 10 laps.
It's plenty of time. We've seen what happened to McGrath in one corner.
There's McGrath going through the picture. Steve Lampson behind him. 17, Robbie Raynard.
This track just keeps getting slicker. There goes Phil Lawrence. Albertine.
Albertine only 33 seconds back.
Button and Tortelli.
Did you expect a little bit more from Button's four-stroke here?
Absolutely. I thought I put money on him to get the whole shot. I was watching him yesterday in the practice. He started with everybody about half a dozen times. He got every start.
A little wider tire.
Maybe a little over
power. And with a slick surface like this, it was a very similar surface in Las Vegas when Henry won the first four-stroke 250 victory.
There's Cliff White.
Team manager of Honda.
He was my mechanic for 6 years at Honda. He is a smart man. He has got to be happy with the way things are going. I know he was probably more nervous than the riders were because he has rebuilt this team, but if they didn't win or have this kind of a showing so far, it's a lot of weight on his shoulders.
4 Hondas and then John Dowd, the 125 West Coast winner last year.
Now Lusk is starting to quadruple those. Pichon's tripling and then taking the inside. Doesn't lose much time, just a little bit each lap.
Ricky Carmichael is in 6th, Ward is in 7th, Emig in 8th, and McGrath in 9th.
Tell you who's putting in a pretty good ride, Art, is John Dowd.
John Dowd very, very steady.
Right back there behind Kevin Windham. They've stayed about the same. Holding off Carmichael.
8 laps to go.
How about that? Emig having to go all the way to the last chance. He's riding around ahead of McGrath right now.
His next target, Larry Ward, in the battle for 7th.
There you see McGrath just right behind Emig there. Who would have thought that the way things went out of the heat races, or last chance for that matter, that Emig would be ahead of Jeremy right now.
David, in many Supercross tracks, the whoops are a short distance, but are very, very important as far as the time on the track is concerned. Look at there, Emig with a great pass on Ward. What I'm saying is, what do you think about the short whoop section here? It's even shorter than normal.
And we're seeing a lot of things happen through there, and part of that is because of the entrance. You make a left, and the whoops start right away. Then you go up a little hill and then back down. Jeremy moving up another spot.
Our field summary, Lusk, Pichon, LaRocco, Windham, and John Dowd.
The approach to that whoop section is what's making it so tough right now, and also it's so slick.
Let's go down to trackside and Davey Combs.
Mike Gosler. I'm telling you, those Hondas are flying, especially your rider, Ezra Lush. You guys got to be stoked.
Yeah, we're really stoked. I mean, we've been working hard in the offseason. It looks like it may have paid off. Looking good. Let's hope it stays that way.
What about Bichon? You nervous about a teammate being second?
Yeah, I see him back there. I see all of our teammates back there. It looks good.
The last Honda sweep in Supercross goes back to San Jose in 1990.
I've been involved in a couple of those, Hannah, myself, and O'Mara, but that's all the way back to 1983.
The battle for seventh right now is out in front. 4 Hondas in almost a freight train effect.
See McGrath reach down in the air and readjust his clutch. Not much time in the air over that finish line. He just reached up there nice and casual and goes, I need a little more clutch now.
McGrath having to reach back mentally after 6 for 6 in his last 6 races here in Anaheim.
Well, all good things come to an end at some point, but just because he's having bad luck here doesn't mean that he hasn't been the fastest rider out here of the night at times. He's well in the hunt. I think he's just going to learn a lesson. This is probably just going to make him a little bit more motivated for the rounds 2 and 3. Last year, he kind of took his time, worked his way into it, got in that great battle with Lusk, and finally picked up a win in Seattle and just eased his way into that points lead, never let go.
Carmichael, Emig, and McGrath. McGrath doesn't seem to be able to get behind or get ahead of Jeff Emig right now with 5 laps to go. Time is running down. In control is Ezra Lusk, a 4-time winner last year.
There's the corner where it all went sour for Jeremy.
Randy Lawrence is the mechanic for Jeremy McGrath, and Davey Coombs is with him now.
Randy thinks we're going so good in the heat race, and then Jeremy had some problems. Is there something wrong with his clutch?
No, he's just adjusting his clutch right there, but I don't know, maybe he was a little bit too relaxed today. The nerves really weren't high in the pits. Everyone's pretty relaxed, and I came out here. He actually got a pretty decent start getting down here to the first turn and kind of got pinched a little bit. And then just trying to get through, he was being aggressive and ended up going down. So he's trying to regroup and get back up in there right now.
He just made the pass on Jeff Emig. Emig trying to come back as they're side by side. But a good move by Jeremy McGrath. He's hanging in there. Ricky Carmichael in front of him.
That was just patience. Emig is tough to pass. These guys ended up together a lot of times. You think that Jeremy would know how to do it by now, and Emig would certainly know how to hold him off. That's why it took so long. Jeremy just had to wait for just the perfect spot.
Jeremy McGrath in the first year of a 2-year renewal of his Chaparral contract. Incidentally, Larry Ward fans, he's gone from 1st to 14th. And here's our leader, Ezra Lusk.
White flag.
Final lap. The white flag is waving. Lusk is looking for his 7th career win.
And John Dowd will not let go of the back belt. And he's actually... Dowd had briefly passed Kevin Windham there, and Windham got him right back. Passed him over the finish line and jumped. Windham just waited and cut back underneath him.
Jeremy McGrath passing Robbie Rayner. And Mikel Pichon still in 2nd place with LaRocco in 3rd. But number 4 is headed toward his first opening win. His first time to win an opener. The checkers are out for Ezra Lusk. He was headed for his very first 250 podium quite some time ago when he collided with Emig and went down on the last lap. But the last lap here tonight in Anaheim was no problem for Ezra Lusk. And we'll be back to hear from our winner after these words.
Line up every
every ATV Honda has ever built, and they would stretch from our factory in Ohio to the deserts of California. But in 28 years, we've never built one like this. The first ATV with ESP, push-button electric shift program, full digital display, and the most powerful engine we've ever put in an ATV. The Honda Foreman ES. We've just added something new to a very long line.
Everybody I know calls her the cow, even people I don't know. I threw a parade for the cow because it definitely needed something to honor this moment. 300,000! It's really saying something to think that we went through 15 New England winters. It's just an amazing vehicle. It's been a really good buddy. It's been a good friend. And heck, we just need another excuse for a party.
Toyota trucks. How many miles can you put on?
Tonight at 8, the games begin. The Winter X Games.
これがウィンター X ゲームの醍醐味ですね。
The events for day 1. Women's Border X action.
オーマイゴッドですね、これは。
And skiboarding triple air.
スキーボーディング海外はファンキーディスコ。
And women's Biker X.
おー、デンジャラス。
Let the games begin. The Winter X Games. Tonight at 8 on ESPN2.
Hey Supercross has been brought to you by Suzuki. Right now, your Suzuki dealer has a wide selection of fine motorcycles and ATVs and the financing to get them. And by Honda, inventor of all-terrain vehicles. Honda, best on earth.
Number 4 of Team Honda, Ezra Lusk, became the first Honda to win an opener since Jeremy McGrath in '96 in Orlando. He is the first American in 3 years to win the opening round. As we take a look at Albertine and Tortelli in the last 2 years winning the opener in Supercross. And with our winner, let's go down to Davey Coombs.
Tell you, Ezra, I got to tell you what, you go across that finish line with a no-hander, you reminded me of our own David Bailey in 1983. Did the same thing. He went on to win this title. You win in Anaheim. You're in the catbird seat.
That sounds really good, Davey. You know, I can't say enough about this whole team and the bikes. We worked really hard getting these bikes together, getting them ready, and it's paying off. And if I could be as good as David Bailey or RJ and those guys, I'll be really happy when I retire.
I got to tell you, every day at the Honda track must be like a 250 main event. Not only you got 3 top teammates, you got Mike LaRocco coming by too.
You know, Mike, just because he's on another team doesn't mean that he's not as good as we are. I mean, we go out and do 3-lap sprints and main events out there all the time, and it's like toe-to-toe.
Well, I'll tell you what, speaking of Mike LaRocco, let's bring him in here right now. Mike, congratulations. What a tough ride. We were watching you coming up through the whole time. You got 3rd place. Welcome to the podium.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It feels good to be up here, you know, right away in the season. And like Ezra said, I can't say enough about our Hondas. They're working really good this year. And factory connection suspension, I just felt real good out there.
Hey, who's had the fastest lap time at the Honda track so far this year?
Well, the track early was Ezra, but lately I think we've all been pretty close, so the track got wore in, but it's going to be a long season. Sure.
Okay.
Okay, as we take a look at the top 10 results, Ezra Lusk, Mikel Pichon, and Mike LaRocco on the podium with Kevin Windham. He looks like he's got a lot of possibilities left. But the big surprise in the top 5, David Bailey, John Dowd moving up there.
Mikel, I know you had a tough start, Mikel, but you came through in that main event. You rode really strong. Nice rebound from that crash earlier.
Yeah, I knew if I could get a good start, I would be in front. You know, I had a very good time, a very good time chronoing during the heat race. So that's what I did. I got a great start, and when Ezra passed me, you know, I kind of get used to ride with him. So I just tried to ride his pace. I know he was very fast and doing a quad that I was not doing. And I was a little bit tight, you know, to be out there in front and just try to ride smooth and following him the whole moto, and that's what I did and didn't make any mistakes. Just got a little bit hump at the end, but.